Good morning, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on Wednesday, September 17th, 2014 at just about 9 in the morning, Eastern Daylight Time. Now, yesterday, as you know, if you watched my video, Paul and I went to the Farm Science Review, and I made a video about it in 26 clips. Now, apparently one of these clips contained some music that was being broadcast over an outdoor speaker system in one of the display areas. And it was, we can go into what it was later, but essentially there was about 50 seconds of this overhead music audible in this clip. I certainly didn't seek out this music and deliberately put it in the soundtrack of my video. First of all, I wouldn't know how to do it. And second of all, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use somebody else's music without their permission. That's it. It's here. Let's just show you the offending clip, but I will only play about 2 seconds of this music. Okay. Let's see here. Then prepare to. Here's one of your Jason. There. Okay. Now, I show you this JCB front end loader affair. Here I remark on the fan how they've got a fold up fan thing from the fan there, and go around to the side here, and I'm not really saying anything of consequence. I'm just showing you the equipment. And then coming up here on about 50 seconds, basically this music's inaudible here. So we'll go up here. See, that's about what it amounts to. Okay. So it seems that YouTube is upset about this. More anon. So, I'd say, heck, it was probably within an hour after I had uploaded this thing. I checked my my video manager, as is my wont, and I got, it said that there was a copyright dispute. Okay, and you click on the blue stuff and boom. This popped up. Okay. Now, Joe and Paul at the Farm Science Review. Your video may include content that is owned by a third party. To watch the matched content, please play the video on the right. The video will play from the point where the matched content was identified, which was at 15:25 in the overall video, but apparently was, at the start of that clip or shortly after the start of that clip. And then as you found out, after about 50 seconds, it was inaudible. And apparently the copyright is some piece of music called Heart Alone, and it's administered by, is that UMG? UMG. Okay. Well, as I said, I certainly didn't deliberately insert that in there, So then I went through their site and, what does the content ID claim? Am I in trouble? what what can I do about this claim after I wipe my pants? Change my pants. And dispute the claim and so forth. Okay. Well, I mean, it's obviously copyrighted material, but it was, it's the same thing as if I were to wander down to the end of my driveway and somebody drives by with their, they get stopped in traffic with their car window down and their car radio's on and some music happens to come under the video. I mean, that's the same, amounts to the same thing. It's certainly no different than these guys, that roam around these shopping malls and restaurants when they're vlogging and all this overhead music's coming down onto their microphone on their camera. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they're no more inserting that copyrighted material in there deliberately than flying to the moon, So I did dispute it. Now, maybe that was tactically a bad move because I don't really understand the ins and outs of all this. This fellow that I correspond with in Australia seems to think it probably might have been a bad move. And I'll take his word for it because he's far more experienced in these matters than I am. But it says, I was at a public trade show of farm equipment and the music you referenced was playing over loudspeakers in the display area. Honestly did not notice it or care since I was focusing on the great equipment. I pay almost no attention to popular music of any variety. Sorry about this. Heck, if you want, cut out that sound or cut that sound out. I don't want to mess with my YouTube account. I love YouTube, despite Google Plus, and vastly overestimate my editorial abilities in any of these areas. And then, see, they have two canned statements. They have up here the reason for the dispute, and then it says, this video is my original content and I own all the rights to it. Well, in essence, I do, but that's not exactly a dead-on accurate statement, but that's the closest of the two possibilities I was offered. And then you also have this canned statement saying I've made a good faith belief, and this is all made in a good faith belief, and I'm not trying to harass people, and I'm not, obviously. So I understand that filing fraudulent disputes may result in termination of my YouTube account. I think the issue here is whether you monetize the video or not. Well, I always try to monetize the videos, not because I expect to get any money off this from the AdSense account that you associate with your YouTube account, but because YouTube lets me put all this stuff up here for free. So why shouldn't they make some money off it? I have no problem with that. In the unlikely event I would ever get $100 in that AdSense account, I can assure you, there is no way in God's green earth that I'm going to give these guys my bank account number. That just is not going to happen. So they're welcome to it all, as far as I'm concerned. Split it up however you want, guys. I don't care. So that's where it stands. Apparently, I'm going to be sort of in limbo here for 30 days to see if, I guess, UMG decides to pursue this or some. Obviously if they do, I'm not going to try to contest it further. I've had my say, and it's just so absurd sometimes, isn't it? So we'll see how this plays out. So bye-bye YouTubes, and watch out what those overhead speakers are playing. All righty, bye-bye.